Hello, my name is Christy Buchholz. Welcome to our show, Addicted to Love. We're going to explore today the vast changes in love relationships from the 17th century to now. In the past relationships, poetry was a means of declaring one's love to another. The author wrote the poem to the one he holds dear to show her through words of his love for her. Men of that age were a much more verbal breed. When they loved someone, they told them they loved them through means such as poetry. In today's society, relationships are much more physical. Men show their love towards women by holding hands, walking arm in arm, and the most obvious, sex. The 17th century held for the people of that age more romantic displays of affection, but they were restricted by vocal or written aspect. We have for you today examples of poetry and how the love of the author was shown through his words and examples of what he would do for her. Also, we have poems showing that reasons for his love were not physical, but they were much deeper. Along with poems, we have aspects of today's lifestyle that show how much emphasis is put on the physical side of a relationship and how false the reasons for one's love really are. So let us take you now to the home of John Fletcher, the famous poet, where he has just finished writing a love poem.
Oh, John Fletcher, what doest thou?
My dearest love, I've just composed a poem for thee.
Oh, John, pray tell, let me hear it.
Just imagine, my dearest, thou art in a wood, and I am a satyr, a god of the wood.
Oh, I can see it.
Thou divinest, fairest, brightest, thou most powerful maid and whitest, thou most virtuous and most blessed, eyes of star and golden tresses, like Apollo, tell me, sweetest, what new service now is meetest for the satyr? Shall I stray in middle air and stay the sailing rock, or nearly take hold by the moon, and gently make suit to the pale queen of night for a beam to give thee light? Shall I dive into the sea and bring thee coral, making way through the rising waves that fall in snowy fleeces? Dearest, shall I catch the wanton fawns or flies whose woven wings the summer dyes of many colors? Get thee fruit, or steal from heaven old Orpheus' lute? All these I'll venture for, and more, to do her service all these woods adore. Holy Virgin, I will dance round about these woods as quick as the breaking light, and prick down the lawns and down the vales faster than the windmill sails. So I take my leave, and pray all the comforts of the day, such as Phobos' heat as sin, on the night earth may still befriend thee in this arbor.
Oh, John.
As you can clearly see, the author in this poem is expressing his love for her by telling all the various things he would do to please her. Lines such as, "Tell me, sweetest, what service now meetest?" and "Shall I dive into the sea and bring thee coral?" Making way through the waves shows how he would have risked his own life to please her with the most trivial things. Another thing to notice about this scene was the way it ended. The author and his love ended holding hands and looking into each other's eyes. This shows the speaker only wanted to know that he loved her, not that he wanted her body. In today's society, an expression of feeling always seems to end ultimately in the same point, the physical. A perfect example of this is the soap operas on today's television. In scenes such as the following, one actor, a presentation of how actual people live in our society, expresses his deep felt love for his fellow actor. He declares his love verbally, but ends with a kiss, followed by an embrace, and then they stroll arm in arm to the bedroom. What happens next is sometimes left to our imagination, sometimes graphically displayed.
It sounds nice.
You read, I'll get it.
You sure you don't want me to help you with that?
I get it. You just make yourself comfortable. You may not know it yet, but you won't leave me tonight, Andy. You're going to stay right here all night with me.
Oh, Seattle.
so beautiful. Oh, my wife. My beautiful wife. Oh, I want you so much, dear. I want you.
I want you.
From this scene, one can see a reflection of modern-day America. The verbal declaration of beauty is motivated by the physical act of love in today's society. Today, many times love seems to be determined by factors such as where a girl stands morally, a girl's looks, and other factors such as these. But, from the literature of the 17th century, the only way to know what real life was back then, we find the reasons for love are much deeper. Now listen closely to the following poem.
Upon kind and true love. 'Tis not how witty, nor how free, nor yet how beautiful she be, but how much kind and true to me. Freedom and wit none can confine, and beauty like the sun doth shine. But kind and true are only mine. Let others sit with attention, to listen and admire with wit. That is a rock where I'll not split. Let others dote upon her eyes, and burn her hearts for sacrifice. Beauty's a calm where danger lies. But kind and true have been long tried, a harbor where may confide, and safely there at anchor ride. From chains of winds there we are free, and need not fear storm's tyranny, nor pirate though a prince he be. Now this poem clearly demonstrates.
Oh my gosh! Did y'all just hear that poem? It was so neat. I loved it. I loved it. Did y'all, the lines, you know, that right there. 'Tis not how witty, nor how free, nor yet how beautiful she be, but how much kind and true to me. Oh my gosh, that is so neat. I love that. I love that. It's so nice. I mean, he's talking right there about, oh, he loves her because she's kind and true, not how witty she is, or not how free-spirited she is, but just, or not even how pretty she is, but just because she's kind and true. That is so neat. He didn't even want anything from her. He just wants her to know that. I wish guys today would talk like that. You know, be really, really romantic and just tell them they love him just 'cause, not because of anything, like 'cause they want something, like is what they usually tell them.
Sex!
Yeah, like that. I mean, all the marriages today are like, they're because the girl gets pregnant. I mean, every time. In 1984, there were 1,487,000 marriages that year, and in that same year, there were 2 million marriages. There were 2 million marriages. 2,487,000 marriages. And in that same year, there were 1,155,000 divorces. I mean, that's awful. There were half as many divorces as there were marriages. That's terrible. It's all because she got pregnant and she had to get married because of it. I mean, you know, that's terrible. If they had been right, you know, like back in the 18th century, I mean, in the 17th century, when the author wrote things like that, he just wanted to know he loved her. He didn't care. But the pregnancy rate and the pregnancy marriage stuff, that right there shows how how physical relationships are. Now, they don't care about telling them how pretty they are and tell them nice things like that. They tell them all, they just let them do what they'll do and stuff like that. I mean, it's so physical now, and they just don't care about anything. I wish guys would talk like that today. I mean, just tell people they love them just 'cause. And like, I mean, even as late as the 1860s, it hadn't started getting this bad till just recently. I mean, even as late as the 1860s, there were still, I mean, they wouldn't end a declaration of love. They wouldn't end a declaration of love with more than a big hug. I mean, it was really neat. Like in that movie, oh, it's so neat, that movie, there was a book first and then there was a movie. It's so good. I loved it. I saw it 16 times. I loved it so much. It's called French Lieutenant's Woman. It was so
Somebody
good.
get this female off the set.
Oh, it was so good. I just loved it.
We must now pause for commercial break.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Billy Jack Joe Bob Williams, attorney at law. Are you tired of that little woman nagging at you to do some chore, or to go get her some present or take her shopping? Are you sick and tired of hearing, would you clean up your mess? I want some more money. I need a new dress. Or the famous, you don't bring me flowers or sing me love songs anymore. If you're tired of all these nagging things, I have the perfect solution. Divorce. The simple and easy way out. Only $75 and no down payment. It's the best way to get out of the pressure of a nagging wife. Well, I myself have done it 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4 times. So remember, Billy Jack Joe Bob Williams. When you're ready to get out of, my number is divorce. That's DIVORCE. Call today for a free estimate. Thanks, y'all.
As we were saying before the commercial break, the novel The French Famous Woman, set in 1860, shows again people expressing their emotions verbally.
Ernestina. What's going to do him?
Don't look at Princess.
Ernestina, it cannot have escaped your notice that it is fully 6 weeks since I came down here to Lyme from London.
No, it has not escaped my notice.
I came to Lyme to explore the flint beds of the undercliff and to look for fossils. But I have stayed for you.
Ah,
For your sweet company.
thank you.
She's not going to turn him down, is she?
Never. She'd give her left arm.
I came here this morning to inquire whether you would allow me to ask your father for your hand.
Yes, I would allow it.
Mind you, I don't know that he altogether approves of me. After all, I don't do what he considers to be work.
Are you suggesting that it is entirely Papa's decision?
No, it is yours.
Yes, it is. Papa will do what I want, and I will do what I want.
Well, in that case, might you take pity on a trusty old scientist who holds you very dear and marry me?
Oh, Charles, I've waited so long for this moment.
He's home and dry.
This isn't mistletoe. But it will do. Will it not?
Oh, Charles.
Now, wasn't that sweet? The best way we have of knowing how a society behaved was through its literature. We have seen through the literature of the past how romantic they really were. The best way to see what the people of today think is to ask them. So we have for you now a cross-section of the people in our lives. First off, we have an interview with Steve Shipley, a student at South Garland High School. Steve, how are you today?
I'm just fine.
Well, we have a few questions for you today about love relationships. First off, when you are in love with someone, do you worship them? Do you just think they're the best thing ever?
Are you kidding? No way.
Interesting. Okay, how were you first attracted to your girlfriend? By her physical beauty, or by the things she says, or by her moral standings? How were you first attracted?
She's awful good looking and awful sexy.
Are you very romantic in what you say to her?
No. I would say that it's just the opposite.
That she's romantic to you, or that you're not romantic at all?
That I am the most unromantic person unless we're alone.
I understand. Does this sound like you? Listen to this. And tell me if this sounds like something you'd say. Oh, fair sweet face, oh eyes celestial bright, twin stars in heaven that now adorn the night, oh fruitful lips where cherries ever grow. Does that sound like you?
Me? Not in a million years.
Okay, one more question. When you're dating someone, do you date her for personal gain or because you like her?
Well, it looks awful good for the rep to be walking around school with her, let me tell you.
Well, thank you very much. And there we have an interview with Steve Shipley. Next we have an interview with the famous Garland sexologist Ruth Buchholz. Dr. Ruth?
Yeah.
We have some questions to ask you today about love relationships and how they're more physical now than verbal. First of all, when you first fell in love, when you're in love, do you like to be worshipped?
Yeah.
Do you find that you are worshipped?
No.
Okay. How were you first attracted to your husband? By a physical physique or by the things he said, or how were you first attracted?
His body.
You liked his body?
Yes.
Okay.
He's very handsome, very attractive.
Okay. Do you find that you were very romantic in what you say to each other?
Now? No.
Did you used to be?
Yes, back in the 1880s.
Okay. All right, tell me if this piece of poetry sounds like something you would say to each other. Oh, fair, sweet face, oh, eyes celestial bright, twin stars in heaven that now adorn the night. Oh, fruitful lips where cherries ever grow.
We don't talk about cherries.
But do things like that describe each other's physical? Does that sound like something you would say to each other?
No,
You don't talk that sweet to each other.
no.
Okay. Well, that seems to be about all. And so now we'll go to the next interview. Next we have an interview from Derek Driver, a South Garland student and a star basketball player on the team. Derek, how are you tonight?
How are you?
Just fine. Okay, we have some questions for you tonight about love relationships and physical relationships that you have. First off, when you're in love with someone, do you worship the ground they walk on?
No, I really don't worship the ground they walk on at all.
Okay. Do you do what you do for personal gain? Do you date someone so that to make yourself look better, or just for the things that they do for you, or for the way that they treat you, or what?
Well, I do it because it makes you look better.
Just
Just to have them around, to wait on you, and people follow you around. That's good to have.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Well, tell me, how were you first attracted to your girlfriend? By her physically pretty face, or her great personality, or her terrific and intelligent mind?
Her good looks.
Her good looks? Okay. Well, let me read you a piece of poetry and tell me if this sounds like something you might say to her. Oh, fair sweet face, oh eyes celestial bright, twin stars in heaven that now adorn the night. Oh, fruitful lips where cherries ever grow. Does that sound like something you'd say to her?
You would never catch me saying something like that to her.
Okay, interesting. Well then, are you saying then that you're not romantic to her in what you say?
Never in my life.
Are you physically romantic?
Yeah.
You are, okay. Well, there we have it from Derek Driver, the star basketball player at South Garland. So you see from the mouths of 3 of today's people that relationships are expressed now more physically than verbally. Another perfect example of how unabashed people are at showing their affections physically is the halls of SG. I'm sure we've all seen walking down the halls the PDA in the halls, physical display of affection. And we've all seen it, the people walking by and holding hands with each other, or kissing in the halls, or walking arm in arm. Teachers get on to us about this, but it shows that we really do this. The last and final thing that we have for you tonight is a song that fits perfectly with today's relationships.